Secretary Ken Salazar promised to keep a boot on BP's neck. Now the government is stepping down even harder. As CEO Tony Hayward visits Abu Dhabi, BP reportedly agreeing to notify the Justice Department before it makes any big financial deals. But attorney Kelly Saindon says the government has no legal right to make these demands. Make your case.
They really don't. There's no enforcement mechanism. There's nothing that they can do to force BP to follow through with this promise. They're exerting political pressure, but there's no legal recourse for the U.S. government to hold them to that promise.
You know, Kelly, here's what's going on. This is what we found out, reportedly that the U.S. government is telling BP, look, you have to submit monthly financial statements. You've got to tell us if you're going to go through any corporate restructuring, make any asset divestitures, or do any mergers or joint ventures. What do you make about that? That seems like invasive surgery here.
It really is. We're just trying to exert pressure over them and to maintain the ability to collect in the event that we hit them with big fines, that they don't divert all of their assets, and that BP can't push it back on us financially to rectify the situation that they've put us in. We're trying to ensure that BP financially has to cover the damage that they've created, but unfortunately there really aren't legal mechanisms to allow the U.S. to do that. So we're exerting political pressure by saying you need to do this or else, with the implied threat, we'll stop dealing with you, we'll go another route.
Kelly, you're a really sharp, smart, legal mind, and here's the issue. Here's the talk on Wall Street. The thinking is that BP will break itself up, and BP will basically have BP USA, and then the BP foreign assets will be ring-fenced away from BP USA. Could the U.S. government step in at any time to take any assets that are warehoused in BP USA?
After obtaining a judgment, after hitting them with a fine and trying to collect, yes. Preemptively, no, because in the United States, our whole system is founded on due process, so they would have a right to build their case, to have a defense, present a defense, potentially appeal any ruling, and the U.S. can't just step in and seize assets illegally.
Right. And
we have to have...
Yeah, this is a company that is British, based in Britain. So, but there is talk on Wall Street that, hey, maybe this could happen.
It would be a great plan if we could do it, and legally, and I think that we're doing the right things by exerting pressure to try to keep them from diversifying all of their, like you said, splitting up, so that we have the financial resources available when the U.S. does, in fact, hit them with a fine, when they're done with their criminal and civil investigations and they do press charges. But right now we're exerting pressure because BP knows it's in their best interest. It behooves them to maintain somewhat of friendly relations with us.
You know, Kelly, what happens if BP cannot cap this gusher? It's saying it could, you know, drill a relief wells, and that, you know, basically it could be capped in August. I hear that may have been delayed. What is the scenario if that gusher is not capped?
You know, unfortunately, I wish I knew. I don't even think the experts that are familiar with that know, because we don't know the environmental damages. We don't know all of the costs. We know it's been devastating to the wildlife. We know that the water is being polluted. We know that tar balls, are washing up in Texas and other places. So I think it's really difficult at this time to ascertain the what if, and everyone's just hoping that preemptively they are going to come to a solution, because absent that, I'm not sure.
All right. Attorney Kelly Saindon on BP giving the Department of Justice reportedly notice of big financial deals, you know, basically telegraphing what it's going to do to the U.S. government, which seems to be unprecedented. Good to be with you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Meanwhile,